new Getting Color right here on the BigVitoBrand.com and also Patreon.com/BigVMafia. I am Virtue, and that is Big Vito LaGrasso, the man back in the wrestling business. What's up, Vito?
What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's being safe out there. Take care of yourselves with this COVID. It's running crazy, guys. I could tell you, someone is being an essential worker. It is not fun. It is not easy. Take care of yourselves. But we got another booking up in Ohio in March.
Now, where is this one at in Ohio?
I will let you know all the details. March 12th, I will be up in the Ohio area. Big V is on the track back. And this is the thing, guys. My TikTok is at 100 and almost 20,000 views for the comeback of the BIGV from the LOG. And let me tell you something. My goal is to get back on TV. My goal is to get back on the major scene. I'm training. I'm hustling. I'm doing everything possible. Thank you guys for your support. And big man, what do we got to start the show off?
Well, you know what I want to start off with here first and foremost, and if you don't, like I always tell you, if you don't have anything, you know I got the topics. But what is on Big Vito's mind? Anything out there in the world of wrestling on your mind?
I got to say this. Guys, always represent yourselves in a classy way. And I learned this from Vince Russo, you know what I mean? And he taught me a lot of things. You always put your best foot forward. You stick by what your beliefs are in, you know what I mean? And stand up for things, always have a good view of yourself and your coworkers. When your podcast, we don't look to bash people. We always give an honest opinion. Some people like it, some people don't, but we always move on from things. We're all a family here. We all play nice together in the playhouse. So I just want to say, everybody who's associated with us always does good things, valuable things, and everybody's opinion matters, whether you like it or not. So I just want to say thank you very much to everybody for following us. Follow us on Patreon. Follow us on Twitter. Follow all my guys. Thank you very much. And it's JP for Life 87. What's up, fellas? All right. Go ahead.
So this will be topic number one then, Vito. We know how AEW experimented with that relationship with Impact Wrestling, and Kenny Omega was the champion. Right. I don't think it did anything for either company other than it made Omega look, hey, I have another title belt from another company that's not AEW, but it really didn't move any needles or any numbers. Now, Royal Rumble's coming up. Sasha Banks is hurt. Bayley's still hurt. And let's face it, they need 30 women in this Royal Rumble match because they typically don't have the champions in there, so that eliminates a couple more. And they're contenders that usually face them at that show. So Guess who's going to be in the Royal Rumble?
Go ahead.
The Impact Knockouts champion, Mickie James. So what's your thoughts on that? And also the Bellas, who are retired in the Hall of Fame, they're going to be in it. So that makes sense, right? Because they're looking to fill spots. So that I don't really think anything of the Bellas. Mickie James back in a WWE ring after the trash bag incident. Now, Mark Carrano is no longer there if he was the guy responsible or he was just a fallout guy for that. But Vito, talk about awkward, but a payday is a payday. What do you have to say about that?
Wrestling business is strange. We all have our good days and bad days. You never know what can happen. It's just like back in the day, like when you said, Hulk Hogan could never be fired. Or Steve Austin can never be fired. The Rock can never go away. Great things have happened. Congratulations to Mickie James. I hope they make it right for you because the way they treated you wasn't very cool. I didn't appreciate it. I didn't like it. But, hopefully you get a good showing and everybody has a happy ending with this.
Now, do you think that this is WWE going to have some type of thing where they're working with Impact? I mean, could we see and again, that's out of their realm. And the way NXT has been rebooted, maybe this is just a one-off. Do you see anything beyond Mickey James, though, with WWE and Impact? Could this be WWE trying to swoop in and becoming friends with them to maybe get access to that library?
If they wanted the library, I guess if you made somebody an offer they couldn't refuse, you'd buy it. Working relationship, they never did it before. The only time they did is when they bought ECW, they bought WCW, and you know how that turned out, where they demolished all the credible stars from there. I just think that it is a desperate time. They're tiptoeing around. Maybe I don't see a Kenny Omega situation where he'll go to the WWE carrying belts and acting the fool, because I thought his championship run was terrible, especially when all these guys came in with him, right? He was supposed to be the next coming of the greatest wrestler, right? And the way he carried himself throughout that championship, I just thought he could have been better presented and it would have been better acknowledged. My thoughts, because I think he's a good wrestler. I just thought that for all the time he waited to be champion here in the States, the presentation of Kenny Omega could have been a lot better and bigger if they presented him as a solo instead of a group.
And does Kenny Omega need the New Japan guys? That's where he thrived.
I don't think it's that. I just don't think everybody in wrestling has a niche, right? Everybody's famous. If you have success, you have success in a region, in a promotion, in a thing. Now, you say, look at me, right? I've been to every promotion, like in the territories. I've had a little bit of success everywhere I went. Where would you say I had the most success was in WCW, right? But it doesn't mean that it wasn't presented correctly. It just means that, hey, I only went as far as Nunzio with the FBI, but then when I had the dress, that was my shining moment in the WWE.
And you don't have to give details. Like when you say where you had your most success, I get it in terms of the booking for WCW. Off the top of your head, what are the major companies did you make your most money? WWE?
It would be WWE, WCW. I mean,
okay,
WCW.
But would one? Okay, would one stick over the other one at that point? Because when you were with WCW, WWE didn't own them yet,
right? But
so
I was
would you
also
say you
champion.
Okay,
Yeah, I made more money, but I was also champion. You know what I mean? I held 2 titles. I was a 2-time tag team champion, 2-time hardcore champion.
yeah.
So I held major belts on TV, and I was, a main event in Nitro. I wrestled all the main event guys. So I had a good showing of myself. It was just politics, the booking, and everything. If things were done different, it would have stuck with one. I could have went further, but it's just the time. When we went to WWE, I was brought in with Nunzio, and we went as far as we can go as a team. And then they said, Vito, we have this. They pushed me as a single star, and I made good at it. So, whether it was Memphis, Puerto Rico, Nepal, Santo Domingo, Japan. I went to Japan. I pinned the best wrestler of our generation, Mizawa, right? I went on to tag. My tag team partner was Tenru. That's a hell of a 1-2 punch in your record books, So you talk about great things like that. And then you come back to the States and you're in here with all these great wrestlers. Then you go over to all different countries. You become an Iron Man champion in Germany, where it has a lot of great history. You go over to Malaysia. You go to Okinawa. You go to all over the world. It's something. It's something.
So I was talking about the Royal Rumble earlier with Mickey James coming back to be in it. Since it's coming up later this month, who do you think would be some of the good surprise entrants for this year's Rumble match? And I'm when I say surprise entrants, I don't mean like NXT call-ups or NXT people that come up and then they go back down. I'm talking legit, they're back, and it's like, holy crap, like Edge did one year. Something that might have some traction because they need it. And I want to throw some names out that I had written down, and you might have something beyond this. And then Ronda Rousey. And again, she had her baby. It's contingent if she's ready. Does she want to come back and have that one-on-one match with Becky? But Ronda Rousey, Bray coming back. I mean, could that be something WWE does? Braun Strowman's a name. Shane McMahon. Anybody else? Like, I just don't feel they do it, with the exception of Edge. The last 5 or 6 years, there just hasn't been anybody with any like gusto.
I don't think there's anybody like everybody that's somebody is tied up somewhere. And as far as WWE talent, either they have something going on with that person or that person is not available. Hey, I'm available for the Royal Rumble. I'm willing to go.
Well, yeah, right? Big Vito. There we go.
Right now, we're saying if I showed up in the Royal Rumble, I think the place will come unglued. But that's something that you can look at and say, okay, Vito's available. Can he do it? Does he look the part? Can he still perform? Can he still wrestle? Absolutely. Will WWE open the door? I don't know. As far as taking AEW guys, I don't see it because then there would be a conflict of interest. And why would AEW let their stars go on WWE TV when they're trying to make their own brand? And as far as Impact goes, is there anybody on Impact that you would want to see on the WWE brand?
Well, I mean, I really have to go look at their roster and see if there's anybody that wasn't already in WWE before. I'm going to throw a name out to you.
Go ahead.
It's not The Rock, because The Rock's either going to come back at some point for a match with Reigns for a WrestleMania or he's not. What about John Cena? He's a company man. Could he come back just to be like number 29 in last with those last 4 or 5 guys and not win, but just have that buzz that Cena came back? Because then he would just come down for the event and then go back to Hollywood. I think Cena could.
He probably could. I mean, would it draw a buzz for a little bit? But Cena's like, up and down on what, could they ask Batista to come back? Could they ask Cena to come back? Could they have Ric Flair come and be an entrant? Could you have, Hulk Hogan walk down the aisle just to make an appearance? I mean, if you saw Hulk Hogan coming in on the Royal Rumble, I'd friggin' be like, all right. And he'd probably throw out a few guys. It's Hulk Hogan.
It would be awesome because they're working with it. I mean, not that they're working with Impact, but because if they're getting Mickie James, I believe Big Cass was working with Impact last I checked. Okay. Yep. That would be cool if they got Cass and Enzo for this Royal Rumble. Just saying, just to come in and do a spot in the middle of the match, cut their promo. They end up getting thrown out, but I don't know. I like surprises. I like nostalgia.
But now, if Enzo and Cass came back, right now with the way the company is, this would be a good grab for them.
Yeah.
Could they hold their jobs? You know what I mean?
I mean, those are the little things I'd mark out, I'd pop for, because I know Enzo's an entertaining guy. But so we'll have to see. My gut really can feel the Rousey thing. I mean, Becky came back fairly quickly after having her kid, and now she's back doing a tour, right? She's champion. I could see them convincing, because Rousey, you got to figure she's a workout freak, and she can probably maybe get her body ready to come in and make one appearance to win the Rumble, and then not really show up until maybe a month before Mania, just to have that match with Becky that WWE knows. I mean, they left the seeds planted with the way that match finished at the last WrestleMania they headlined when Charlotte was involved.
Right.
It was kind of a wonky roll up or whatever it was. I feel like there's business that needs finished here, and money's money. I could see Rousey being the big surprise this year.
What about Nia Jax, Trish Stratus?
Yeah.
Kelly.
Never rule them out. Yep.
Who else?
Oh, Beth Phoenix is back. I mean,
Beth Phoenix is back.
she looks like she's back to like tour now.
There's a couple other great girls from the
Well, remember the
2000s.
Bellas are coming back. There's two right
Bells,
there.
so I mean, there's some good girls out there that probably Lita it probably would come back. You know, you never say never on who's going to come back. I mean, I just named 4 or 5 girls. So, you know, who's the other one? Alundra Blaze probably can make an appearance. It's number 6. You
They got
have
possibilities, that's for
you got
sure.
there's possibilities, guys. Let's wait and see. As we get closer, names will pop up. I know you can see their pictures and their faces, but their names you can't think about. But who would you like to see? I have a couple. I won't say it, but there are a couple of girls that I would like to see come back because I enjoyed them and they're friends of mine, and I would like to see them back on TV.
Well, we covered a lot on
Yeah.
that right there. All right, ready? So, speaking of the Royal Rumble, we have 2 world title matches set. The WWE Championship, it's going to be Brock Lesnar defending against Bobby Lashley. And
Mhm.
then the Universal Championship, Roman is back, by the way. So, he obviously his COVID thing is over. And because they had to do the change, right, and the whole Lesnar Reigns thing didn't come to fruition yet, which you and I both know they're going to save it for WrestleMania.
Right.
Rollins popped up all of a sudden from Raw over to SmackDown, and they're going to have Rollins and Roman Reigns. Now, we got to think this through. I don't give a shit what the dirt sheets think they knew. Oh, Lesnar would have beat Reigns. I mean, granted, right? You said that's what you thought was going to happen too, but you were going on gut instinct, not what you heard. There were several things that Big E was going to retain the other title match, or even Seth Rollins was supposed to win it. Dude, whatever those dirt sheets say, who cares? We are where we're at right now. How can Seth Rollins take the universal title from Reigns and keep Reigns the streak, because he's got a streak. By the time Royal Rumble happens, Reigns will be the longest reigning universal champion of all time, beating Brock. So what's going to happen with all of this? You got everybody wanted Lashley Lesnar. We're going to get it. Reigns and Rollins is obviously a fill-in. How does this end here? Are they both going to keep their title belts?
I say Brock keeps his title without a doubt. And I think Roman Reigns will survive Seth Rollins. I don't see Rollins upsetting him. They're going to keep those two going until they clash. It's going to be Brock and Reigns at
Okay, now,
WrestleMania.
okay, right? We know that, right? I mean, assuming The Rock is a super top secret thing, but I can't, right? That's probably going to be beyond this year. So if this is going to be what we think for WrestleMania, and they both keep the titles, the winner of the men's Royal Rumble, that throws a huge kink in all of this. So that they have to face somebody at WrestleMania. So how does that fit in? Now, here's a scenario I was thinking. I'm like, how do you could Brock lose the WWE title because Reigns cost him, or Reigns loses the Universal title to Rollins because Brock cost him? Then whoever loses their title, the other one keeps it. And the men's Royal Rumble match, guess who comes out to win the Royal Rumble? The man who lost his title earlier in the show. They've done that before with Becky Lynch.
Right, but it's too much of a giveaway.
You
You know
think
what I mean?
so?
It's too
Okay. I
much
mean,
of a
I'm just
giveaway.
trying to think how they can.
If you really, really wanted to pop the crowd, The Rock comes back for the Royal Rumble, wins the Royal Rumble. Now he has Brock and he's got Roman. Who do you choose?
Yeah,
That's where you get the major coup right there.
That's big. I mean, you could throw John Cena in that mix as well, right? I mean, is the big name. What do you choose? I mean, that is a lot of drama, right? And what else
It
can
is,
they do at
but
this
the
point?
biggest name out there to come back would be The Rock entering the Royal Rumble. Nobody would expect it, right? And then he's got choice. Now, I mean, you could throw Batista in there, going against Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Batista. I mean, it's name value. I think Reigns Batista would be a good match. Batista against um my man, I don't think would be that good of a match. I think Batista Roman Reigns would be the match at WrestleMania if it did come back. And Brock And Batista, I don't know. I don't think it would be a good one.
Well, where we're at, right? I mean, again, we don't know exactly what was going to happen had Roman not been out with COVID. But I mean,
Right.
this is where we're sitting now. With that said, this is Royal Rumble season. I just because we really didn't talk about AEW really much tonight. Is there anything? I mean, Cody Rhodes, I guess, is being quarantined as he was exposed to COVID.
Right.
So remember, he just won the TNT title back from Sammy Guevara, and I think now they have an interim TNT champion, and Sammy Guevara beat Dustin to win it back. So what are they going to do when Cody comes back? Have a match to determine the undisputed. But has anything in
Right.
AEW caught your eye?
Um, I have to say that it's been status quo,
Me too.
right? Status quo. I don't think they're doing everything possible to put together a good show. Their main goal is to get over 1 million viewers every week. So that's what I think their goal is, and they're trending in that way. They went back on TBS, the Superstation,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm happy about. I think that it'll be a better spot for them wrestling wise. Nothing beats 605 TBS on
Saturday
Saturday
night.
nights. Hey, listen, I used to watch myself because I used to do the TV tapings, 6:05 Saturday night. What did you do when you were watching WCW? You had pizza, you had 6:05 TBS, the Superstation, you had 2 hours of wrestling
I used to
before you
watch
went
it in
out
my
there.
grandma's house. Yeah.
Before you used to go out.
Remember
So, I
those
mean, that,
sliding doors with the smoke that came through?
yeah,
And
that used to be your Saturday night before you went out with the boys. I don't care who you are, you watch TBS on Saturday night,
that was a 2 hour show, wasn't it?
2 hour show.
Yeah, dude. The good old days, man. The good old
The good
times.
old days.
Hey, man, we had a pretty good show. I mean, I know we normally do it on Sunday. I had some stuff that came up over the weekend, which bumped us to Monday. And anything else you want to throw in the pot, Vito, or
No,
we'll
I
go ahead
think
and close this baby up because I know you got to do men of business soon.
no. I just want to say thank you to all the guys I work with. Thank you for everybody who helps make this show great. Thank you for participating in Patreon. I got a good group of guys all the way around, and let's just keep on trending in a great positive way. I love everybody. I love all their content. I love everybody's opinion. That's what we're about. We're supposed to be journalists and analysts and giving our perception of what the wrestling business is. And there's no animosity towards anybody, whether you like us, you hate us. Hey, thank you for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it.
And I want to throw a cliffhanger out, whether we discuss it on the next sit down with Big Vito or you and I next week on Getting Color. Should females get color in their matches, especially at the rate that it's been happening recently in AEW? That I really, because you being in the business, knowing when the right time to do that is and stuff, I want to make that the cliffhanger. So we have a week or several days to let that stew. I want to talk
That will
about
be
that.
our next topic on Getting Color.
Yeah.
Women getting color. Is it worth it?
Yep. There we go, folks. You can follow Vito on Twitter at the Big Vito Brand. You can follow me at NoDQ_Virtue. Be sure to check out patreon.com/BigVMafia. And everything else is right here under the BigVitoBrand.com. This has been Getting Color for Big Vito LaGrasso. I am Virtue. Thanks for listening, watching, and we will be back talking about that topic. See you next time.